Chief and Silver Team in action. We got Silver Team, good batch here today. Got Air Descended myself. Got Pandabmikey.
Hello.
Got the one and only Prophet God, Derek.
Woo! What a movie. What a TV show. What a movie.
What a special day we have, because we have the one, the only Mr. Air Bear, Aaron. How are you, Aaron?
Thanks for saying it right, Mikey. Anyone that follows Mikey on Twitch probably thinks my name is Marbear, because he never says it right. Ever.
We're here to talk about Halo, season finale of Halo. I threw out a poll. I haven't checked it today yet, but let's see what people are saying on the internet. For episode 9, we have the poll asking what did you think of the season finale? We have 15 votes in the last 2 hours. Thumbs up, thumbs down, or middle finger emoji. We have 53% at a thumbs up. We have 7% at a thumbs down, and 40% at a middle finger emoji.
Wow.
I also wanted to throw out a poll of what did you think of
Fucking
Halo?
losers.
All right, yeah, cool. I also threw out a poll of people. I wanted to see what people thought of the Halo season 1. A little bit more. We have I liked it, it's above average, below average, and I did not like it. I liked it was 40%. It's above average, 0%. Below average, 30%. And I did not like it, 30%. Now, obviously, these numbers can change. They changed last week. Yeah, no, this numbers change. We had some more positive numbers last week of the episode, and then later that next day it went very negative. So who knows? Maybe the people that are angry are just too angry to be looking for this stuff on Twitter and rather just tweeting their anger and hate instead.
Amnesty show.
Sure. But yeah, we have Halo episode 9. Wow. A lot of CGI. Pretty cool, I guess. Aaron, this is your first time here. What did you think of Halo episode 9?
I thought it was good. I thought it did what it needed to in terms of wrapping up a season. You know, you had payoffs in terms of wrapping up conflicts within the Spartans. You had a payoff with Dr. Halsey's kind of arch that she's been on. We lost the annoying guy who was doing a great job acting. I mean, listen, the character of being the henchman, you have to be annoying, but then it's more of a payoff when he gets thrown into a light at the end because you're like, thank you, finally, you know what I mean? So that was good. I thought there were a lot of good payoffs. And then you had the biggest payoff for anyone who's been trying to hold on to it, holding on to like, oh, maybe at some point we'll get some good fighting. I thought the fighting was good. It was a good chemistry with the team, and then Master Chief had his good fighting scenes, which were for this kind of a level of TV show, which were good, well choreographed, and I thought it was entertaining to watch. My only criticism of it in the payoffs is that they kind of did the same thing that kind of at the end of Infinity War, Marvel's Infinity War, they're like, oh, everyone's dusted, and spoiler alert, everybody comes back, and you're like, well, duh, they've already signed up Tom Holland to do Spider-Man 2. So like when your thing doesn't have a bite to it, it kind of loses it, and where they're like, Cortana's gonna take over, which this is a spoiler. Sorry if we haven't.
Oh yeah, this is spoilers. If you guys are here and you didn't read the description, this is Halo episode 9 spoiler discussion, so you're good.
Right. So put that out there first, but Cortana's gonna take over. I don't know if I'm gonna get you back, Chief. We've done 8 episodes of building this really deep character arc for Chief. He might not come back. He's coming back. So
with these dumb writers,
I was like, little
hokey.
but he's coming back, so it's okay, and that's fine. But I was just like, okay, that's my only real takeaway that was kind of negative of this is like, oh yeah, and we're gonna leave it on a hangover. Like, I mean, sorry, a hangover. We're gonna leave it on a cliffhanger.
Cliffhanger.
Maybe he's Chief, are you there? And he looks over and then looks back, and it's like, okay, like he's gonna be back. It'll be fine. They're gonna continue doing that, but the rest of it I thought was great. Yeah, I don't know if we're doing ratings yet, but I'll say
No,
that at
yeah,
the
I,
end of.
I really appreciated your response. That was in depth and in detail, and that was a good one. I like that. Mikey, what do you think? Episode 9. How you feeling? Feeling okay?
Yeah, I feel the same as I feel about like the majority of every other episode. I liked the twist with Halsey. I appreciated the battle scene. It just I don't know. I felt like at the end of the season, like as soon as season 2 comes out, I'm gonna watch it. I don't know if I'm necessarily excited. They didn't really set anything up that is super like I gotta see it now for me. But I'm still excited to see season 2, and I really hope they continue to make seasons of this show because the sky's the limit at this point. I agree with Aaron. Like, if you think Chief is gone, open your eyes.
Get woke.
That's a fair assessment. Now, Derek, you've already kind of let your color show a little bit. What do you think
Absolutely.
of episode 9?
Oh, I love this episode. So this is the only other episode this year for me that's gotten a perfect 10 rating, mostly because they pretty much stuck the landing. The only reason I would say it's like not a perfect episode is that at the end of a season, as a TV viewer, you would like to see resolution of storylines. I would have liked to have seen a resolution to Soren and Quan of some sort. It could have been quick, could have been 1 minute. I'm okay with that. But not having them in the past 2 episodes is like weird. Like for a TV show, it's just strange.
I told you they weren't coming back.
Yeah.
Good point. I missed
But-
that one.
But that, yeah, whatever. It is what it is. I don't really care though, because hey, that's 2 extra minutes that I got to spend with pretty much book-ended, heart-stopping action. Yeah. Like 4 segments in this episode pretty much is all it was, and every single one of them was filled with drama or tension or action or big crucial key moments in characters and their trajectories and their choices, and it's just really really dope.
Okay. I literally just finished the episode, and I've been staying off of social media. I don't know how this has been received. I actually have to apologize to Mikey. I threw him a tweet.
Did you?
Saying disappointed. I think I did, yeah, because
Oh.
I hadn't watched it. But I saw that it's one of my favorite memes.
Disappointed.
Yes. But yeah, no, I'm not disappointed. They did good for what it was. I would not say this is a perfect episode. I would not say this is a 10 out of 10, but I do agree that they delivered to an extent, to the best of their ability. I still think the writing in the show is not very good. I think that the production of the show and the visuals and the special effects are fantastic. They did a really good job there. Some of the writing, I don't know, it seemed to me just average. It was just, like it's what I expected to happen. I thought it was kind of, I don't know, just lukewarm a little bit. But Cortana taking over Chief, I didn't see that. Even though you probably should have saw that coming with all the foreshadowing they did throughout the entire season. The Halsey thing, I did not see that. So I really appreciated that. That's fine. I don't know. I didn't really like how Silver Team became a team again through just talking, and I don't know. And another thing too, well, not necessarily emotions, no, because the 2 Spartans still have chips. Their emotions aren't really there. So that didn't really make sense.
She would have shot.
Well, so that's
they're not emotion killers; they're emotion dampeners.
Sure. but they've been dampened for so long that they barely
get it.
showed any emotion before in the entire season, and now they're going to show emotion. I don't know.
Oh, I disagree. Actually, I disagree.
Hey,
In this
that's
episode, even
fine.
with the chips,
That's fine. But let me finish.
Vanek showed anger, which is an emotion, and Riz showed it confusion, or rather, like being on the fence, like trying to figure out what side to choose, which is also an emotion. So,
Okay.
But
As I was saying, I didn't think the writing was done well there because in last episode, Dr. Halsey never gave a kill order on Chief ever. For them to say we're gonna bring you in dead or alive, I don't know where that came from. I thought that was dumb. I also thought that, like I said, how they came to the conclusion of, oh well, Halsey, kidnapped us. Here's the emotions. Yeah, like if they had their chips gone, maybe. But I don't know. I don't think for what they showed us, what the chips did and have done, it made much sense for them to turn around so easily, and especially when they're willing to kill him. Apparently, even though that wasn't their order. So once again, I don't know. I just thought it was lazy writing. I think that they could have been more clever. It's not necessarily how they became a team again. It's just that is exactly what it is. It's how they became a team again, not necessarily that they became a team again. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with emotions. I liked the scenes with Kai, with her being emotional. I mean, she's like a child when it comes to emotions. And yeah, she's going to want revenge. She's going to seek these things because her emotions are heightened. Um, that's all fine. Same with Chief. His emotions are heightened as well. I found it really funny and also kind of like I don't know, like these little lines that they throw in. There was a line last week too. I can't remember exactly what it was. It was something to do with like Master Chief being like, oh no, Chief will, he's soldier first, whatever.
Master Chief
Perengoski
is
said,
always on
we
mission.
don't. I don't recall. But Perengoski said, we don't need you, John. We need Master
Can
Chief.
I do it? Can I do the voice?
Sure.
We do not need you, Master Chief. I'm trying. I want to learn her accent. I want to try so bad. She's great. I've learned to love her, actually. I hated her at the beginning, but now it's like, all right, you're kind of like annoying, and it's fun.
I
Go
don't
to
mind her.
England, Ragnar. It's got Floki vibes.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure where she's from, but I don't mind her. But yeah, no, I thought that was a really interesting comment that, yeah, we don't need John, we need Master Chief. I'm like, oh my gosh, they realize what they're doing. Like this whole season is kind of like what we discussed last week.
Like-
We've been seeing
Like
John.
people stepped on a rake or something.
Maybe, yeah. But we've been seeing John, the majority of the season. She's saying, we need Master Chief. And so like maybe the writers were trying to go about it that way of being okay, like we're going to write for John and we're going to write for the Master Chief. Everyone has seen Master Chief. Let's write for John. Let's write something different. I think that's risky. Obviously, we've seen that, and even like looking back at this season of a complete whole, I will agree with you, Derek, that this season should have been released altogether. It would have been better received. Although I still think there would be a lot of contention and there would be a lot of dislike for how they did write it. In short summary, how I'm feeling about Halo right now is I will continue to watch it. I am very passionate about Halo. I've seen the crap side of Halo. I've seen the good side of Halo. I've watched all the Halo stuff that they've done, and some have been good, some haven't been good. I'm still going to continue to watch it. Where I'm at right now, I'm kind of in the middle just because we have some new writers coming. I don't know what's going to happen there, but this is definitely a different direction they want to go, and I just still have not been sold with this storyline that they're trying to tell.
Ask you a
They're
question?
going sure.
Then maybe we could talk about the episode.
Yeah,
You as a Halo fan, massive fan, let's say of us four, you're maybe one of the best. Like I don't know between you and Mikey, or maybe even Aaron, I don't know.
what do you mean
Wh-
best?
Like you're the one who knows the most. Like you love it the most. I don't know
I'm
who
not.
that would
I'm
be.
not. I'm not.
But let's
Gonna
say you
say
love
that.
it.
I would just say
Let's
that
say
I'm
you
a
love it a
very
lot.
passionate Halo fan. Sure.
Great. Okay, and they did not betray you to the point that you're not going to watch season 2 yet, or have they?
Did they betray you? To the point that
Right,
you want to swear
said a
off the
minute.
show.
Right, you said you wanted to watch season 2,
No,
or are you done? You're
I'm
like,
not.
no, I've
I'm
seen
not
enough.
done. No, I'm not done.
Okay,
There's a
so
lot
then
of.
I want to go to business like logic of
Yeah.
okay, if we're not pissing off the base, we can still reach out into other forums and gather in new fans and build the property.
Sure.
I don't know why the company would only play to the base and never try to grow. That doesn't make any sense economically or marketly, whatever that business, whatever wise. But like, if you, the one who has liked it the least this season, even you aren't turned away or turned off yet, why would they
That's
reach out
because
to you?
that's because I am very passionate about Halo, regardless if it's good or bad. I've seen all the good. I've seen all
Right.
the bad.
Right, and that's what I
I
mean. It's just like I don't think they'll listen to people like you because they have you.
Sure.
Right, it's like me with
fine.
WWE.
But my point that I'm trying to make is not everyone's going to be like me. There are going to be a lot of people that aren't as passionate in the sense of, reading the books and stuff like that, the video game fans or whatever, like they might be approaching this show in a very different way. That where I can relate with some of these people where, they might show a little bit of disappointment is just the portrayal of how they're going about it. I think we've all accepted that this is a different storyline. This is a different version of Chief, etc. It's more of the writing. It really comes down to the writing for me that I feel like a lot of it's
So, like,
lazy and a lot of it is just really drama filled when it doesn't necessarily have to be. They're filling in the drama because it's almost like they're trying to create a drama. Now I know how that sounds. But let me elaborate a little bit further to be able to express myself the way I want to express that. The drama that they're feeling isn't necessarily good writing drama. I think that they can do a Halo in a drama sense with action and all that stuff. But in these dramatic moments, they're very hit and miss for me. For example, the stuff with Maki in this episode, didn't like it at all. I thought it was cheap. I thought it was lame. I'm like, okay, that's sure. Kai killing Maki, loved it. Like that's drama. That's gonna come back. I want to see where that story goes. It's not necessarily the fact that Maki's dead as a character that I was happy about. It's I think that that's interesting writing because Kai has Chief on her mind in the sense of like whether it be brotherhood or friendship, whatever it may be, team. She is going to look out for the chief, and so she needs to get him back on mission. She does what she thinks she needs to do. I really like that. I thought that was really good writing. Where I think there is poor writing, I've expressed it the entire season, is I do not know, like if their helmets just aren't comfortable, but when they're in a hazardous environment and they are going on mission and none of them are wearing their helmets, I'm baffled. I'm just baffled.
right.
Like we've seen them acting without their helmets, we've seen them in their helmets. Just stay true to the situation. There's no
What do you mean?
well, so they're flying to this planet that they don't even know is necessarily even there. Okay, and their ship is falling apart. All of them have their helmets off. I was laughing the whole time. I'm like, what is going on? This
You're
is insane
Cortana.
to me.
You're listening to Cortana.
I was listening to Cortana.
Do you know anything about spaghettification in space?
No, I understand that, but my point is that if they're going
Your helmet
to,
would not work.
that's not what I'm saying, Derek. I'm saying that if you're going to try to raise your chances at all or lower them, like they're going to raise their chances at all times on mission. That's like saying, okay, well, brutes are really strong, so like maybe we shouldn't even just wear armor. There's no point.
Yeah,
No.
man took a bullet to the face today and kept going.
Yeah. Yeah, they're cool. The brutes are
He
really,
didn't need to
really
wear a
cool.
helmet.
Okay, but I'm just saying, even the
But if
vacuum
he
of
had a
space.
helmet, it would have bounced off.
Yep.
It bounced off anyway.
without
I just I don't
scarring.
know. I think the spaghettification thing is fine if you want to try to defend it that way, but I'm just talking even
Well, I
being in
think
the vacuum of space.
I think it's just
If
very
you're an
strange. It's like
astronaut,
nitpicky.
so many things could happen, but like you're going to take out every risk that you possibly
You're like, I could
can.
do this with any TV show, though.
Oh, I can too. I definitely can too, but there's no logic in my mind that tells me why they shouldn't be wearing their helmets in that scene.
Huh? Yeah, but it's just such a weird. I don't know. It's strange. I
It's
accept it as your
strange that they're
opinion.
not.
It's just
No, it's
strange.
just strange that they're not wearing their helmets. If I was watching any other movie where they're in space and they're not wearing their helmets, I'd be like, "What is going on?" Apollo 13. If they had their helmets off, I'd be like, "What is going on? I don't understand." Like
They
this
never have their
writing.
helmets off in
They'd
Apollo
never have their
13.
helmets on. Apollo
No,
13 was
when they when
not even
they
talking.
when they take off, just do. When they're in
Yeah, when
space.
they take off. Yeah, when they're in space and they're just kind of like cruising or whatever. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's a bad example. Let's talk
Let me
innocent,
interject for a second.
please.
So
Go ahead.
this is a good. I mean,
I feel
I
like I'm being
understand what you're
attacked.
saying. No, well, I'm
I
not
want
trying
to
to
talk about
attack you.
Halo. I don't know what we're talking about now.
Let me just bring it back around to this so we can look at it because I am far more versed in like Marvel and stuff than
Right.
whatever this stuff is. But I mean, even Marvel, which these are movies, which are multi-million-dollar movies, which have way higher budgets. People still to this day are going, are we going to ignore the fact that there's a celestial in the Indian Ocean just
Chilling.
stone out there?
Yeah.
Like there's plot holes in every, and this is not a big one to me. I feel like it could be as simple as these actors are saying, if we're gonna be in it, you got to see our face X amount of time. You know what I mean? Like that could be a reason why. And those are the little things that come into like writing shows that we don't. I mean, you tell a guy, hey, we're gonna put you in. And maybe he's not like Pedro, who's like, I'm good to be the Mandalorian who wears his helmet the whole time. You're only gonna see my face for 5 minutes in the whole first season, and I'm happy to do it because they're going to pay him a lot more. Maybe this Master Chief guy was like, I would like to have my face out there more. Maybe that was never even a discussion. But the
Possibly.
point is, there's lots of things that go on behind the scenes that,
Oh,
I
I
mean, for this
completely
one
agree.
is, I understand where you're coming from. The Spartans in lore probably would be wearing their helmets the whole time because they hardly ever take them off. It's like part of their body is their Spartan armor. But this has been very clear, and I think it's good for it that it came out right around the same time that people are very familiar with the idea of a multiverse from Loki, from what Marvel's doing and all that. That this is a different universe, and
Yep.
they
The new
are
Batman
they are
movie.
doing stuff differently. Yeah, yeah. I
Look
mean, my
at this
Batman is the
respect.
animated series Batman. You know what I
I,
mean? That's
I
my
I've
most Batman guy. Anyway, go ahead.
I've accepted that this is a different universe. I'm just saying that that scene particularly took me out of the episode of trying to like build. It threw me out of the episode. I'm like, okay, no, I don't know. Like these are supposed to be
Okay.
professional soldiers, and they're not wearing their helmets in a hazardous environment. I don't know. It's weird, really weird to me. And to
And then
answer your question, Derek, you say you want to talk about Halo. This is me talking about Halo. So like, take it or leave
the
it.
episode.
We'll talk about the episode, but like we're gonna get into it.
I
So
feel like we never do.
that's oh, buddy. Come on, let's have a good episode, okay?
Let's.
Going into the episode more, we had a lot more CGI. We had Covenant, a lot of Covenant. Nitpicking, you know, I'm not. It's show writing. It's what it is. The elites died really fast. I would have wished to see like the brutes were fantastic. They were awesome. I really enjoyed seeing them fight the brutes. But these honor guard that are protecting the prophets are chumps. Like they're just as bad as the grunts. We got to see more grunts. That was fun. What did you guys think as an overall with the CGI in this episode? We'll start with you, Mikey.
Yeah, it was fun. I think that's like I don't know if I want to say that's my favorite part, but outside of a few instances in the first episode and the second episode, like I feel the CGI has been stellar. It's enjoyable to watch as a fan of Halo to see the Covenant on the screen fighting the Spartans. Like it's good. I thought the planet was very beautiful in the way that it was like cinematically shot, drawn, I guess rather. But yeah, I really enjoyed the CGI. I liked how the brutes looked. I liked how Atriox looked. I like how the Spartans looked when they're fighting. It was good. I enjoyed it.
Derek, I know you're a big fan of grunts. I know you talked about it in this portrayal of Halo, in all our episodes.
Mhm.
You got some grunt action, Derek. Overall, with the CGI, how'd you feel?
Yeah, I think grunts look really good. I think brutes look really good. I think elites look very cartoony. It's weird, like all of the different animators in the show. I guess the different little cubicles or whatever, where they slave away for hours and hours. I don't know why they get different like cues, like it's an anime episode where there's different styles jumping in and out. But it's just strange. Like elites look different than all of the Covenant, and then the prophets look damn near real. So it's like it's strange, but to Mikey's point, it's not something that bothers me at all. Like a game Minecraft I can play, even though it has like weird graphics or bad graphics. But like in TV show sense, like in a sci-fi TV show, if I'm entertained, it don't matter to me. I don't really much care. Like I could see the little miniature hung up on a string in Star Trek as a kid, and I didn't much care. I was like, I know it looks fake, but I don't care. It's cool. So CGI, but I wouldn't say CGI is like the thing of the Halo series. Like it's benchmark.
Best
Like the
quality.
best thing. Yeah. No, the best thing about this show is the casting and how fucking amazing the actors deliver these characters. The creepy little bastard, Halsey, John, fucking Kai, who I think is maybe the strongest character out of the show, even over Chief. Keys, Miranda Keys, I think acting wise needs to get a little bit better. I think she's actually just a singer or something, so it makes sense that she's weird. But everybody in the show is like delivering, except for that ref. That guy should have been a jackal like he was in the books, I guess. So that would have been way cooler. But they decided to get BC, and that's fine.
Who's the ref? Who are we referring to? I'm lost.
The crazy guy.
Ref, the meth head.
And
when
you're
running
referring
around.
to him as your high school friend.
Oh man, I haven't seen.
Love
That's
you,
a
BC.
deep cut. That's a deep cut, man.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
nobody who listens to this can understand.
I know, that's why it's fine.
We live in Utah. He was our one black friend.
I had more. I had a. I had
You
more.
had
I
more
had
than
a
one?
lot. I
I mean, I had
many
brown
many
friends.
black
I didn't have
many
black friends.
many black friends.
Aaron, what did you think of the Covenant? What did you think of the CGI fighting?
I thought the CGI was good. I mean, for where they're at, I don't know what the budget was on this show, but it didn't. I mean, it felt like it was
Like 40
it
mil.
was good. Was it really that high? Wow. I mean, not that that's. I'm not saying that changes my opinion on it. I thought it all looked very good. I like this new world that we're living in, the streaming age.
Yeah, Wikipedia says
good?
90 to 200 mil. So I was a little low. Yeah.
Whoa.
10 mil per episode.
That Spielberg
Okay.
money.
Maybe it could have been a little better then. I said it wasn't gonna change my opinion, but no, I thought it. No, I take that back. I thought it was on par for what we're seeing, in other streaming services that are having to lean on CGI for certain things. It's definitely not. It wasn't bad. I mean, it didn't look bad. There wasn't times where I was like, well, that doesn't look believable. I thought it was all really good. So
For Soren's
we're talking about CGI.
garage.
Hey, fun fact: did you guys know Soren was in the first Spider-Man movie?
Yes. Yes, I did know that movie trivia. Yes.
Yeah, kind of fun thing. He was the puncher guy, whatever. Yeah, got stuck
Shocker.
to a shocker. He got stuck to a bus. Anyway, fun fact. I don't know why people know
Spider-Man
that, but Marvel,
Homecoming?
it's not Marvel thing. Yeah, the first one. So fun fact for you. But that's my I thought it looked good. I thought it was the best fighting sequence of the whole thing, and there've been a few of them, that have been good. But I did enjoy that fighting sequence, and then at the end, and I thought their rendition of Halo, when they keep going to these little visions, it makes me excited for when we'll end up there. I will say this: I don't think what we're seeing in those visions is what the Halo will actually be shown as. like right now it looks like heaven, and I think they're doing that on purpose to make it
It's
be
more
like a vision.
paradise.
Yeah, but when they get there, I'm still excited for what it will look like because they make it look even better than the games. Like it looks like they spent probably a ton of money on that CGI backdrop because it looks really good. I mean, there's a lot of detail.
That and Soren's trade, his car, his cable car.
Yeah. Well, there's been a lot of
that's the one that
CGI
I
in
say
this.
is
It's
weird.
looked good. The whole series overall has not looked cheap. So that's good. If it does
No.
have a $90 to $200 million thing, at least they're not coming out going, "Where'd all that money go?" Because it's looked good. Yeah, most of the show has been CGI. Reach has been mostly CGI. So they didn't build that city.
I'm gonna be careful how I say this because it's not that I didn't dislike it, but particularly the scene with Master Chief fighting against the brutes. Still not really a big fan of the first person aspect that they keep going to. It's like a cool idea from like a film and like I guess just camera work, a camera work perspective. Like that's cool, but I don't know. It's a little different. It kind of takes me out of the show a little bit. But reflecting on I believe it's episode 5 where they have the big battle to this episode, I actually think I really enjoyed the more practical side of Master Chief fighting than the CGI. Even though like it was really awesome, I enjoyed it. It's not negative. If you go and you compare the two scenes, though, you can tell that Pablo, is doing that work. He has the shotgun. I think he used pistols and stuff, and he looks badass. He looks awesome. He looks like a killer, and he's a machine, and it doesn't look unnatural. Where this is like unnatural. I know Spartans are unnatural. They're faster, they're stronger. I'm okay with that. I'm not saying that they shouldn't do it, but I really appreciated the other one more just because it was better choreographed and just like, I don't know, it just felt more badass to me. How do you guys feel in comparison of that fight sequence right there compared to the more practical?
I'll jump in real quick. I think I agree with you, but I also think that's kind of apples to oranges in this because they really wanted it to be brute fighting, which is always more hand to hand, and that's what this one was. So I think they could have done it the other way too, but this one didn't lend itself to any of the shotguns or the pistols or stuff. Like he did have an assault rifle in his hand, but it was all close combat, and so it's tougher because it's two different kind of fight scenes, in my opinion.
Sure. I'm right there with you. What did you think, Derek?
Yeah, like so I don't know. I'm having a weird divorce with CGI. I'm sick of it. It looks fake, and it's like okay. It doesn't wow me anymore. What wows me now is like practical stuff, like the fight in 5 when he gets shotgun and he runs through. There is a behind the scenes things. I think I threw it your way. It was awesome. It was so cool seeing him actually go through the motions, and there were actual people in blue suits, like doing the motion capture of the jackals, which I originally thought were all CGI, but they were not. So it was like really cool, and all the police systems, even the Spartan fight last episode, all the physical stuff I'm really enjoying about the show. And the only CGI that we really need, in my opinion, is space, because that looks dope as shit, and the Covenant. We don't need CGI Spartan battles or whatever, because let's get more time. We don't need CGI on weird things. We shouldn't waste that money. That's what I think.
Okay, Mikey, how do you feel?
I actually think my favorite fight is between the Spartans. Even throughout this whole series, I think my favorite one to watch was that. Because I agree with most of the points made here. I can't think of all of them, but like practical is going to look more realistic, but I don't want to see a man in a monkey suit portraying the brutes. Right.
No, I agree.
Right.
That would take me out way quicker than like a bad rendering. But yeah, the practical fighting looks better. The CGI, I don't know. It's different because when you're meleeing someone in the video games, it's just like an elbow pops out, right? The most action we ever got with melee attack in Halo was in reach with the assassinations outside of like hammers and swords. So seeing them fight with their hands using martial arts is kind of cool, regardless of practical or CGI. But yeah, long answer. I liked the Spartan fight the best.
Right, and I want to emphasize once again, I didn't dislike that fight scene. I really appreciated the practical side of this show. I want to
You
see
guys
more
are,
of that. I think it was some of the strongest parts of this show. What were you saying, Aaron?
do you guys remember the old Reach trailer? I don't know what you call it
I
for a
do.
game, but that I still think is one of the best live
I'm
action
I'm with
but
there. I'm with
CGI.
you there.
That go back and watch it if you. I
I'm gonna
think it's
one up
delivered
you.
hope.
I'm gonna one up you. Do you
Cool.
remember the Halo ODST one?
That one was good too. Yeah.
That one's very,
The-
very good.
yeah, some of these commercials they've done, it's a good mix. Yeah,
Not
the brute in that one did look a little weird, but it was true for what they were doing
sure,
with brutes at the time in the
sure.
games. So
And
now you look back at it,
brutes
it's
have
like that's a
never,
pair.
yeah, brutes have never looked better. I still think my favorite fight sequence of all of Halo ever is Halo Landfall. I think it's perfect. That's the Marines fighting the brutes. It's really really good. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It was promotion for Halo 3. It is very 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 good and was originally going to be the Halo movie that they were making, and it was a short that they um uh, purposefully leaked to get people excited, but that movie was canceled and we never got to
Damn.
see that movie, which makes me sad because what we did get to see of that was really really awesome.
Careful, it'll make
I'm
you nostalgic for the old sniper rifle.
It will. It definitely will. um I am excited in a sense to see more Halo. Like, I'm not going to not admit to that. I just don't know what to expect. Um, Moving forward with Halo Season 2, what do you where do you guys think they're going? Like, what are we going to be seeing next? Are they going to immediately go to this Halo? What's happening with Halsey? Is Miranda Keys, going to have a bigger role in the sense of like the military side rather than the science side? Captain Keys, what's happening there? Whatever you guys want to talk about, we can go into it. I'm going to let you start, Derek.
Cool. Well, I have sticky notes just for this very moment. Let me find them. My predictions from, I think, the first episode, all of them that I can remember. Humanity is bad until they learn to be better, and that's how they win. I thought that was going to be the theme. It was the theme. I'm like, more, Keys and Chief in charge. I predicted that would kind of be the thing. It not really. I did not predict Captain Keys to be a good guy at the end. I didn't see that. That was pretty cool. Make Maki killing the creep. I got this one wrong. I did not expect Kai to be complete badass in this episode. This is a highlight of my life. Is watching Kai in this season. I am with her 1000% in a not creepy little bastard way. It is fantastic. She's a great character. Talking about what we're going to see, I don't know. Maybe just Glassing of Reach eventually, and then Arbiter maybe.
Okay. Aaron, where do you think we're going?
Well, to pick up where they've left off now, they have the relics, right? But they don't have any way to use them until Chief comes back. Oh, maybe you won't. He's gonna come back. They got a star map
I'll
thing.
be back.
I know that's important. I'm thinking I'm back. This better be the first thing he says. So we know that's gonna be. So it's still gonna be Find Halo. I think they're gonna probably, like, if it's another 9 episode, I think what we'll get next is we're gonna end up on Halo. I don't know what's gonna happen with Halsey. I can see that one. See, now I'm confused because,
The
and I'm gonna lay
Spider-Man
this
villain.
out, because we've got the portal right on Madrigal, And Derek's totally right. It was a little strange we didn't get that payoff. I was praising the payoffs. They missed that one, which they missed it for the last 2 episodes. So why have a whole episode and then leave it out there with nothing at the end of the season?
She's a protector.
Right, but I thought they
I was more
had a
for
big way to figure out how to get to Halo, but now they've got a star map. So, like, what's important there? That's a little bit of a weird plot hole that I'm sure they'll bring around, but I don't know what they're going to do with that. So, anyway, where I think we'll end up Halo, I think we'll get the Flood next season. I'm excited for that. I think they've already explored as much of the Covenant that they need to. I do think the Prophets look good, but I don't even know where they go from here. You know what I mean? Now that I felt like Maki was like the big connector to them. No, they're not dead. They just like floated off into space.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. Like even in TV logic, 'cause I know the video games that happens, but even in TV logic, I'm like, no, we have to find these guys.
Yeah, they'll probably die one at a time, but I don't know how many seasons they're gonna try and do this for. And so I don't know exactly how far that will go. But we'll end up on Halo. I think we'll end up on with the Flood, and I think we'll go down more of the storyline that what you think the Great Journey is not the Great Journey, and what humans think that this is a weapon is not a weapon. So maybe we'll even get some backstory for the Forerunners, because I hope I don't know what they do with the Forerunners in this is really gonna be another make or break thing for me, because we haven't hinted at two of the major players in Halo, which is Forerunners and the Flood. So we'll see.
All right, I'm hearing some whoops, Mikey.
So, watch Halo Canon on YouTube if you don't, and you're invested in the show or you want to become invested in the show. A little plug there for him. So here's my predictions. I'll start with Halsey. I think Halsey is about to leave Reach and go to Madrigal to try and find Quan, to meet up with her, figure out what her, interactions with Chief is. We'll find out that, Quan's a protector and she protects this well that I think is going to teleport to either Halo or some kind of Forerunner artifact, whether that's the Ark or another Halo, because those runes that are all over the protector's tents are Forerunner symbols and Forerunner lettering. So there you go. If you're a core canon nut, you can go back and decipher some of those. Halo Canon does it for you. That's why I say go watch his channel if you want to appreciate the show a little bit more. And that's Halsey's arc. I think Halsey's going to try to figure out a way to get to the Halo before humanity and the Covenant so that she can help progress the Great Journey. Going to Master Chief, or Master Cortana, or Cortana Chief. This is something that's bugged me since the introduction of Cortana was, okay, me knowing how Core Canon's story goes, how in the world are we going to have that awesome relationship between Chief and Cortana if they are one and the same? Which essentially they weren't until this episode. But now that they are, this is a theory, right? So this is what I think is going to happen. They're going to go back, and Cortana is going to remain captain of Chief until she figures out a way to extract herself and resurrect John at the same time so that he doesn't die. Because I think they've established that Cortana is very much caring for Chief, and she cares about her vessel, and more so about how John lives. And so I think that's where we're going to get in this next season, is them extracting Cortana out of Chief so that she can be that modular character that she is. I don't know. I don't know how they could write it, but I believe that's where they're heading. The Chief will be resurrected and be the Master Chief with Cortana in his helmet, going more towards that storyline. I'm interested to see how much longer Silver Team will be in it. I don't think they're gone next season. Anyway, I'll continue on. And then I think with the Covenant, I think the Covenant are going to be pissed. They're going to want the relics back, obviously. And I think this is where we will see more so of the Covenant glassing humanity. Like this is what makes them so mad that they just start trying to eradicate humanity to get their toys back. And maybe by the end of the season we'll see the fall of Reach, or maybe it'll be mid-season, and we'll see like some space fleeing / getting to the Halo ring. But I could honestly see the whole next season them waiting to get to Halo, with the Covenant trying to eradicate humanity. Yeah, that's my theory.
That's a fair assessment. One thing I wanted to say that I liked what you were saying is, like the little tidbits that they are throwing in there with the show. That is fun for the Halo fan. Like the Marvel people that like to do the deep cuts and stuff and really see
New
what's going on. Like I like how they're doing that with Halo. Like that's fun. I know I might be a minority here when I say this. It's just it made me smile a little bit. But even when Cortana at the very end, it's actually the image we're seeing right now of Master Chief with the helmet on, not really talking and stuff. Like I was getting chills. I'm like, I know this is not the Chief I'm going to get. I know this is not the Chief I'm going to see. But like when she takes over as Chief, even though I know that wasn't Chief, it just I don't know, man. I felt like I was in Halo. It was awesome. It was
You
just
want that?
so. No. See, that's the weird thing. It's like,
Franken
I
Chief?
really do like the portrayal that Pablo is doing. But it is just so different and so foreign to me that it's hard to compare what I know of Chief to this new rendition of Chief. This was familiar. I'm not saying it's not necessarily what I want, but it is something that I enjoyed. It was fun for me because it just reminded me of why, like what I experienced in Halo myself through video games or videos, whatever. And no, I don't want Frankenchief, but Frankenchief is kind of Frankenchief in the video games to defend my case. I'm not saying it is the direction they should go. All I am saying, once again, is I kind of enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. It reminded me of nostalgia. I don't know. I've always liked the quiet, stoic chief. The guy who has internal demons and is consistently, fighting those demons and trying to figure out what it means to be human. The fact that Pablo's rendition of Chief is pretty human, I would say at this point. I feel like it's a little rushed. I would have liked to see a slower burn to Chief finding his humanity and breaking that indoctrination because he's broken that indoctrination. It's gone. Him having to confront his team and saying, we were all indoctrinated. That's 100% aware. Like I was indoctrinated. Get out of the cult mentality. You are your own person. They screwed us. They kidnapped us.
Yeah.
We don't get that slow burn with the chief, and that's a little disappointing for me as I'm talking about the season in whole. I would have really liked to see a slower, more well thought out writing of him getting to this point he is at in the show, but not as fast as it happened in just one season. No, I think Aaron, you haven't, or Aaron or Derek, which one of you haven't had a chance to talk about the original question? I
Future
don't
of
even know what
Halo?
was that the original question?
I think so.
Where it's
Okay.
going.
Yeah.
ISA.
Aaron, did you get a chance?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
everybody
You
answered.
did, right? Yeah, cool. Okay. Let's
I
see.
threw that man through the ceiling.
Now, Aatrox was in this episode again, and I mean it's pretty confirmed. It's not confirmed, but it's pretty clear to me that's Aatrox just by CGI portrayal and
Did he die?
he did
Nah, he got blown away, like
yeah.
Oh.
like brushed away, not shot.
I do like how they are bringing him in because like he's such a big character in this last game, and I know he was a big character in Halo Wars 2. He was never really around in the other games, and I thought that might have been Taurus when they were fighting for the first time. But I don't know. Like I like this. It's different. It's gonna be interesting to see their rivalry, them going back and forth. That was really fun. I will say once again though, the elites just really disappointed me this episode. They're not good at fighting. They're really bad. I think Grunt's got some more shots in than the elites did.
If I'm writing like elites to eventually be like befriending humans, especially with Arbiter, like if that's like a future plotline I'm thinking of, if I'm the creator of the show, I'm gonna make them weak a little bit. It's because I want to see them like in season 4, like getting down and have it be believable that they would be like, "Yo, these brutes are assholes. Let's go with those furry little monkeys. They're way nicer."
No, I can see what you're saying, and I agree with that to a point. But to make them as weak as they did, I mean, they were very, very, very weak. I think that they were not as weak in episode 1 than they were in this episode. They were dying in one shot. Where in episode 1, their shields were really protecting them. And I'm not saying that like I think that the brutes were literally, pun intended, brutal. They were absolutely brutal. They were monsters. They were huge. Like you can still even compare those brutes to the elites in episode 1, where the elites are a little bit more agile. They're more tactical, but they were still scary in their sense too. These elites were cannon fodder for cannon fodder's sake, and then on top of that, they just were. I mean, there wasn't a lot of threat with them, at least in the portrayal of them in combat, versus what we've seen in this show already. I thought that was just odd. Any of you have a thought on that?
I think they could have done the same thing with grunts with Umboy, and it would have been more lore accurate because those are the ones that
more believable.
swarm. Yeah, I mean, so I do think you're right in that way, but it's also again for me just such a minor thing. It doesn't matter to me.
Sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be a new Halo Infinite map, and it should be, and I want to play it. I get a really cool downloadable armor set for Kai 125.
You know what's funny, Derek, is I was actually thinking the exact same thing regarding that set. It looked like a Halo map. It looked like the setup of a Halo map. Like they actually thought about it, and that might be their best set as of like a contender when it comes to what we see in multiplayer.
To me, like it looked Mortal Kombat 1998.
I agree. It was very, very well cared for sand.
Dramatic.
But it's a temple. It's a holy place for them. So
I loved it.
That's cool. It was really cool. I was a little disappointed that we didn't get some more needler action. Vanek picked up a needler. He's like, "Oh hell yeah!"
That thing shot like a sniper rifle.
Come to daddy.
Right? I thought we were gonna get some really nasty explosions. Not so much. But
you get one in the distance.
You do get one in the distance.
Vanek gets blasted. Riz gets stuck.
That was cool.
Yeah, she should be dead.
I don't know what Kai was thinking.
That was silly. That was the one thing I was like, okay, so she got stuck, and somehow she got exploded.
This is Halo Infinite grenades,
underneath her armor.
That's a worse defense.
Her armor was fine.
No, wait.
Into it.
Oh my god, I have a gamer defense.
Grenade.
Tree branch, peace, dubs. It's because it was a horde mode. So when you get stuck, you don't die, you just go down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Battle Royale.
Yeah.
I thought it was just Halo Infinite grenades. They're just not as strong.
No, I don't know. The plasma grenades in Halo Infinite are ridiculous.
Anything that sticks you on Infinite kills you.
Yeah, to weigh in on the elite discussion. These are they're supposed to be honor guard, and then I think they're supposed to be like specters. So these are supposed to be like the super smart, and then they just kind of file in one by one. I don't know about that, but like Aaron said, it's a nitpick. It was good action. It was good. There was some, like, I actually did have the thought. I was like, oh crap, are we gonna watch Silver Team die here? Like, is this it? Is this where we lose all the other Spartans? But that lasted for like 30 seconds, and the scene continued on. Yeah.
The fact that they got you there means they achieved their goal, because there was a, oh no, we're going to lose moment.
Exactly.
Someone saved you.
I did think it was kind of dumb that, like, the prophets are floating 25 feet up in the air. Now one of the Spartans like, hey, kill them. Kill them. War over. We win. Nah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if it follows court canon, they'd have a protective shield around them, right? Like, it just would have been interesting to see the Spartans be like, I'm super smart soldier, but they were overrun. Anyway, I won't tangent.
Yeah, a lot of my problems with this episode were nitpicks, for sure. I don't want to, get too hard on it just for nitpick's sake, because, I understand that this is a TV show. They're doing TV things. But yeah, like, there's just a bunch of little odd things like that. I talked about the helmet. I talked about these elites. I mean, if you want to get super crazy, which I'm not, like, I didn't care, but, like, the weapons are a little different and stuff. Pelican's cool. No, it was a fine episode. I don't want to take that away from it. I still don't think, though, once again, this is perfect. These are kind of my final thoughts. I am interested to see where they go with these characters that they are writing, especially both the keys and I think out of all of the characters in the entire season that portrayed their character the best, you can take that however you want, was Dr. Halsey. I think she was really, really well casted and really pretty well written for too. Parangoski is just kind of there. She's fine though. And the Spartans, they're great. I think this show has a lot of potential. I do. I still don't think it's there yet. I think that there's a lot of really good things that are happening. There are some things that I personally haven't had or liked myself. I wouldn't say that there's anything that's like absolutely garbage about this TV show, but I think that people have the right to have concern or dislike, some things that they are seeing, even if they are trying to reach out to more audience. That's fine. I just think that it can be done better. I've seen it in this show. They've done it really well in some aspects, and then in other ones, it's just felt really lazy, and I don't know. It didn't hit nearly as well, and it does feel like there are a lot of hands in the kitchen, so to speak, with this show. With the next season coming out, I'm really excited to see what these new writers do. I hope they stay, somewhat true to Halo, but um, whatever they do, I'm gonna watch it regardless because I am invested into this show. I haven't seen anything in this show that has made me say, "Nope, I'm done." So bring on season 2. Aaron, what about you?
Well, I just want to point out one cool little callback that was in the episode when, as a last kind of thought, when the plane is going down, Halsey's plane, the guy's on there, right, and then it crashes, and then she reaches up and grabs it. Total callback to the first game. Just gonna put that out there. Remember we're not gonna make it. I was like, oh shit, they just killed
We'll
it.
make it. Yeah.
And then I was like, that's a Spartan thing. So
That explosion was like crazy real too. Like it looked like bad plane crash footage. If you've ever seen it, it's awful. That it looked like that, which is not typical of a TV show. Usually, TV shows do like one big explosion. They don't do that rolling explosion that you actually see. It's crazy. Anyway, go ahead.
No, it's good, and I appreciate those callbacks in games, like games made into movies, things like that. You're like, oh, it's one of those Leonardo DiCaprio pointing at the, like, hey, I remember that, pointing at the TV. But I thought overall, my whole thought on this is that it was a good episode. I liked it. It's probably one of my favorites. I was gonna give it a 9 out of 10, but with the Quan revelation, I'm gonna drop it down to an 8 because I would have liked to have at least seen something to give us an idea. I didn't think that was gonna end
Still
at
flying
episode
home.
7. You know what I mean? Like, so I would have liked a little bit more on that.
Aaron wants more Quan.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna make it a storyline, where are we going with it? You're just gonna ignore it for the last
He's a
120
protector.
minutes? That
Mm-hmm.
doesn't
I
mean
want more
anything yet.
Thorn.
Okay.
Those are good characters. So
And
that's my
Squirrel.
final thoughts. Yeah.
Okay. No, that's
Sc-
fine. I personally think they wrote Kwan's story and tied it up nicely myself, but I can see why you would say that.
Oh, I think it was
That's
fine
fair.
where they left it. I just didn't know at the time that's where we were going to leave it for this season. Is what I mean. I
Sure.
would have liked to have seen some more progression in
Okay.
this last episode.
Derek, overall thoughts of the episode and conclusion.
Loved it. High as Bay. She is also in my head equal to Master Chief. Like Master Chief is John Cena. She is like Becky Lynch. She's that damn good. She is awesome. She might be the star of this show. I think Master Chief's cool, but I think you're gonna like, ooh, it's gonna be like Halo Infinite 2 or some shit. And it's gonna be Halo Infinite
Too much
2, and
to
you're gonna have
Halo.
2 Master Chiefs on the cover. One of them's Kai 125, and one of them's Master Chief.
Well,
It's
she-
our world now, baby. We're invading the gamer world now.
Now you're gonna get the opposite effect. She can never be in Halo Infinite because it's not the silver timeline.
That's right.
Oh, we'll change that. Do you know why? Because I'm the president.
Hmm.
Okay.
Mikey, floor's yours.
Yeah. I enjoyed the episode as well. It's not my favorite of the entire series, but it's also not the worst. There are a lot of moments that I scratched my head and went, "Huh, that's kind of silly," but that's okay. They're not a nitpick that absolutely like tanks this show. I want to see more. I give this one a 7 out of 10.
I gave my final thoughts. I didn't give my rating. I'm actually at a 7 out of 10 as well. I'm right there with you. Scratched my head a lot, but it is not the worst that I've seen in this series so far. It was a good episode, and the action.
Too much
They
ball.
they bring the action. You know, that's something that you can't deny. They do bring the action, and the action scenes have probably been the best rendition of Halo action scenes in the sense of Master Chief on the TV screen, because Fall of Reach, or not Fall of Reach, Forward Unto Dawn, not great.
Oh.
Not great. Master Chief.
Don't
That's the
spray and
robot.
pray.
Yes, that's the robot. But yeah, no, they've come a long way even from that series, and so it does excite me. You know, I hope that they listen. I hope they listen to what people are saying, because there is a huge division. There is. I think that
Oh.
the show can be for everyone, but you know, they are making very, very selective choices in their writing that are going to anger some people, and then they're also making selective choices in their writing that are going to bring in new audience. And I can see it both ways. I understand both sides. I just, you know, I think that they can. I think they have the money. I think they have the resources, and they have the talent. They need better writers, and that's my final thoughts. And do you guys have anything else you would like to say regarding the entire season as a whole of Halo, the TV series? Why don't we toss it back to you, Aaron?
Just in general, I think. I mean, I'll keep this brief, but what I would like to see someday is to see the games made into movies, almost shot for shot, follow the story. But that's not what these guys were going to give us, and they were clear about that from the beginning. So once I got over that, because I love the games, and accepted that this is kind of like a multiverse deal, I actually like the story they're telling. I like this version, knowing it's completely separate from the John that we're seeing in the video games. I like this story. It hasn't done like irreparable damage to the Halo brand, and they're playing with it in a different way, which is their right, and it's entertaining to watch. So I'm gonna keep watching it. I'm excited to see how they render the flood and how they get into Forerunner stuff. Hopefully, we get to that point in the next season. And I'm excited. I think one last thing I'll say as a projection in the future, I do think we'll see the Fall of Reach early in the next season. I don't think it'll come yet. I think we're gonna get the Fall of Reach, find the Halo,
Win the war.
That'll be the
I'm gonna extend my question a little bit that I want you to continue on. what do you want to see in next season? And then in addition, what would you rate this season as a whole?
So yeah, I'd like to see the flood is probably the biggest thing, and the fall of Reach. But I just think after having a whole game of Reach, which told a great story, the fall of Reach. I know that's different in some ways than the books, and that's a whole different thing. But I like the game, and I just think I kind of want him to go quickly on the fall of Reach because you can't do it
Yeah.
justice in the TV show. It's not going to happen. So I hope they hit it quick.
Unless they bring
It
the
happens.
money.
Right. So I think it's going to be quick, but then I want to see the flood because I'm really curious to see about what they do with the flood. And I want to see a traditional hunter too at some point because
Yeah.
what we got this time was
We saw their
weird.
leg.
Yeah. I've never seen that before. I didn't know that was I guess that is the way it's like
Yeah.
more accurate.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just kind of strange to me. So that's what I think. And then overall, I'd probably give 6.5 on the whole thing. I did like it. There was a lot of bad though. I haven't been on for this whole thing, so people would be pretty surprised how much I liked the last episode and how positive I am on it. But I still think overall it's about a 6.5. But I do think it's gonna get better. I think I have high hopes for next season.
I appreciate your honesty. Derek, what would you like to see in the next season? Overall thoughts of this season, and what would you give it as your rating?
Okay. Well, I've been logging all my reactions to my TV episodes, so cumulatively gets 81 out of 100, which is like a B minus. I really, really enjoyed the last half of this season. I agree. The first part of this season was weird. I like Reth, they're crazy people that are freely imprisoned, and it was very weird. There's no locks on the doors. Like, it was very weird. Like, it was very, very strange. But then I got over it, and I was like, oh, okay, I kind of like this universe. And now I'm cool with it. Like, everything's cool now. I just have acclimated really quickly to this pool, and it's really fun. What I want to see next season? Oh, damn. I don't want to see, because it happens a lot, I don't want to see Ghost Maki. Like, I like Maki's character, and I was like kind of sad that she died a little bit because she did the good thing in the end. It's like, okay, you were redeemable after all, and it was like really cool to see her like make that decision. It was awesome. I just don't want to see Ghost Maki like, John, it's okay, you can be with Kai, even though she murdered me, and I want to see Kai. I want to see Kai and Chief. I want to see this.
We know you want to see Kai.
I'm shipping Kai and Chief, the Master Chiefs, the Master Olga and Master Chief.
Olga
is the feminine for Chief. She told me so.
Derek wants to see.
What would
Kai,
you say?
Smash some Master Cheeks, huh? He's
Yes.
slapping cheeks.
I do.
We haven't seen sex yet.
She would be the dominant one. You know she would.
Yeah, maybe. What would you say? So you said 81% was your rating?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's my name? She's amazing. I'm in love with Kai.
My name.
Mikey, the floor is yours. How'd you feel about this season overall? What would you like to see in the next season, and what would you rate this season?
Overall, this season is a huge success. Why? I'd say it's even more successful than Moon Knight, because I've seen more people talk about this than I ever saw them talk about Moon Knight. There's been more spotlight on Halo than I have seen in recent TV shows. But that's just as far as like getting the word out, right? I like the season. I think I would give it a 7. I'm excited to see more. What I want to see more of is drama, but not weird inter-character drama. I want to see drama between factions, right? Like I'm ready for humanity to be scared or to be beefing with the Covenant, not with itself. I want to see. I want to see more threats on a galactic level rather than on a miniature scale. Whether that is the introduction of the Flood or just more time with the Covenant to see them. Like, I didn't really talk about this. I don't know if any of us talked about this in the episode. I loved the scene between the prophets where they're like, well, we're just going to screw over Kai anyway. We can let her play puppet, and then, yeah, we're going to kill her. Of course we're going to kill her. That was always the plan, right? Like, I was like, oh, thank you, finally. Perfect. Like, I want to see more of that. Or, sorry, not Kai, yeah, Makee. My bad. Wrong character. Makee, yeah. Like, well, of course we're going to screw over Makee in the end. Of course, right? Like, I want to see the Covenant's plan come in full.
He's a dirty monkey.
Just
we're monkey people.
Yeah, that's what I want to see in future seasons.
I remember people being really mad that she was like accepted by the
part of the Covenant.
Went,
yeah.
You really don't think that after they get what they want, they're gonna like fuck her over?
Yeah.
In some way, like, and I only ever posited, well, maybe that Prophet of Lake Regret or whatever, nice one was like, maybe he had a foster kid and maybe he had a heart because it's a TV show. And I'm kind of sympathize the villain, you know, he's kind of a douchebag father, but yeah, it's weird, but yeah, but that's not gonna happen now.
See,
but,
I actually didn't look at it that way at all personally because to answer your question that wasn't even directed toward me, like, do you really think that? I actually did. I did because what I think they were trying to do after this episode, before knowing exactly what happened, is I thought that the Prophet of Regret, which is kind of the big cheese of the prophets, was the more religious side of the Covenant, where, in the video games when the Regret's taken out and Truth steps in, like, Truth wants power. That's his arc in the story of Halo in the video games. And so, like, I thought because this Makee was such a special figure in the sense of their religion, that's why she's alive, and that's why she would continue to be alive. I liked the political intrigue of them, like, being like, yeah, no, fuck her. We're going to kill her. I'm like, okay, this guy is devious. I like that. That's really cool to see. But honestly, if you were to ask me, would they kill her or not? With this show being what this show has been, I wouldn't have been surprised either way. I really wouldn't have, because they're changing a lot of things, and I could see it going both ways. I really could. My final thoughts, unless you have a response to that.
I was just going to say I'm not too excited to see them just like, well, we need a new hand to push the magical buttons and grab that random human and use that hand. Or they have to find another reclaimer or whatever, chosen one. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how they do it. Because that was something that actually bugged me in the games a lot. It's like, well, the Covenant are screwed if they don't have humanity. They can't even push the damn buttons.
Yeah.
So they always had to have a human with them to slap their hand onto the console. Anyway, yeah, we'll see. We'll see where they're going.
My final thoughts of this season. It's above average television. It's not great. I think it has the potential to be great. I do think it is successful, as echoing what Mikey said. It's received a lot of talk. There's been a lot of talk on this. It's getting a lot of attention because of that. Not all that talk has been positive, but there also has been a shocking amount for those people who are been so negative that there is a lot of positive people liking the show. I do think that the sky is the limit with this show. I hope they bring even a budget double the size that they brought, because when the budget showed in this TV show, it was at its best. I don't want them to cut any corners. This is just my rendition of a perfect Halo of where they're going. I would love them to go hard, go big. Bring the thunder, so to speak. Because they can do it. They showed us. They've done some real cool stuff in this season. I think the writing was not great. It was average sci-fi writing. The overall arc of what happened in this season, I'm okay with. From how we got from point A to point B. The first half was not good. It was too contentious. It was too different. They should have released this series as a whole so that people, I guess, wouldn't have reacted as negatively as they did, because episode 2, I had no idea what the hell they were doing. Now where we're at, now where we're at, uh, yeah, no, the show has potential. It really, really does. I think the acting and the actors themselves are great. There's not really anyone in this show that I would say is not cast well. Um, I just think that
Ref.
the writing needs to improve. No, it's the writing. It's the writing. I think that guy did a good job for what he was given. Like that, he was a
He,
weird character, but he did what he was told to do.
I believe
So
100% he is a crazy person in real life and on
maybe, yeah.
screen.
They're like, we got to get this guy in here. He's too perfect to be not put in there. But what I'd like to see in the next season, other than what I've kind of already said, is I want to see more humanity. I want to see the interactions between humanity, not necessarily just the Spartans. I've already vocalized this. I want Sergeant Johnson. He is too good to not be in this show. He's too much of a fan favorite to not be in this show. Someone like Eddie Buck, I can see them not putting in this show. I get that. People are huge fans of Nathan Fillion. Great. I don't think we'll see Nathan Fillion, but Sergeant Johnson is just he is one of the top 5 most popular Halo characters for a reason. They need to put him in this show. I want to see more interactions between the lowly side of humanity, the grunt workers themselves. I use that lightly, not necessarily meaning
More
grunts, but
Quans.
no, more Marines. I want to see more Marine stuff. I want to see more interaction. I really liked that scene with Kai hanging out with Marines and pulling shit. That was awesome. I want to see that. I also extremely 1000% agree with Mikey that I want to see. I might have lost it.
I said
The
Covenant.
not the covenant, but the emotions, the humanity, the drama. Um, I want to see the drama written like it can be done and still have drama, and this inner conflict. It's just so soapboxy, and it's just like, yeah, I don't know. Like I want to see the drama that I'm familiar with Halo. Of we're going against impossible odds. We have this alien religious pact of species trying to exterminate us, bringing the drama there. In the even in the games, you go to the Fall of Reach. The drama is tenfold. You see this team, and like they can really build Silver Team and make you care for them. I think that 2 out of 4 of the members on Silver Team were wasted. I think they're awesome, but like
Why would that be?
they because they had their chips. I don't know.
Yes. Season
Sure.
2, they won't be like that, son. They'll be training, and they're gonna have.
Maybe.
And I think Vanek's gonna be pretty much the same. He's just gonna
It
be angry.
still doesn't take away from the fact that I feel like they were wasted this season. They're just there. I mean, they literally are just there, especially
Yeah.
Riz. Riz is just not really even.
They're the sticking point to Kai and Chief. They're the mirror. They're
Yeah,
vitally important to the story.
yeah, but I mean, let's look at we've talked about Marvel. Let's look at Marvel like Civil War. We've seen it done where there's 2 different sides and 2 different like perspectives, and there's still like more like they didn't really write much about They're robots. They literally are robots, and they're the things that you said like yourself that you didn't want to see in this show. I agree. I don't want to see robot Spartans. I want to see more personality. And once again, I'll bring up Reach. They still have chips. They're still Spartans. They're still indoctrinated, but they have personality. They're on mission, but they still have personality. They care about each other as a team. I think it can be done better. I don't know. I think those 2 characters were wasted, and it makes me really, really sad because I think Vanek has a very stoic and memorable experience on screen, and I think that Riz doesn't have much going for her other than she's just there. So like when she, got hurt, didn't really do anything to me. I'm just like, okay, like cool.
What?
Spartan got hurt. I'm just being honest. What I would like to see also in season 2 is I want to see more Spartans. I do. I want to see the interactions. Huh?
Vanek, maybe it was sweat, but it looked like a tear.
Are you talking about when they came out of slip space? When they're going to the planet?
Like he was holding Riz, and he was looking down at
the end.
her, and he was like kind of angry, but also sad. It was like really sad. And then I swear there was a bead.
He had a very perspirated face, though.
Regardless, he was showing them like that's
Maybe.
Boom. He cares for Riz. He and Riz are like a tag team. And then I love the line, "Were you guys really gonna kill me?" "Of course. Yeah, we're gonna kill you." And she was like, "Yeah, I would have killed you too, but at least I would have felt bad about it." Like I like that shit. So I agree with you. I'd say cool. Yeah, let's kind of wrap up the Quan stuff and let's make her a little more of a side character. Side character.
Between seasons character.
Yeah, sure. Like Morgan, early seasons of Walking Dead, once in a 20 blue moons. But yeah. Y'all know what I mean.
Yeah. Even like with talking about the Spartan team, as a whole in this series, I enjoyed when they were together as a team. I want to see more of that. I want to see the relationship of Spartans like we got to see with John and with Soren. I want to see more of that. Even Kai and John, like those things are fun. So next season, I hope we see more Spartans. I really do. And I actually would like them to introduce more than just another team because I want to see some Spartans die too. Like I want to see humanity hasn't really like lost anything in this season that is like, oh crap, like that person's dead. Like it's just a bunch of Marines. Like no weight. They need to have some weight. They need to have some true loss that you're like, oh shoot. Could you imagine if Quan would have killed Soren? Everyone would have been like, shoot, man, like why? Soren was so cool. That would have been impactful. I'm glad they didn't. But I would like to see more of that. And I don't think we will see Flood in Halo season 2. I would love to see Flood, but the biggest thing I can say is I just want them to put more money into the show and bring more of that tension of the humanities against the wall, against the Covenant, and Covenant are winning because right now I don't know if anyone's really winning.
Kai wins.
Kai wins, I guess. Derek wins because
she's gonna hunt down every one of those prophets next season. It's gonna be
every one of them.
Yeah, she's gonna have paint under her eyes and shit.
Covenant gone next season.
Like Carol. The admiration and attraction I have to Carol is the same for Kai. She's the next Carol. I'm telling you, she's gonna be so cool.
Okay, I'll remember that. I can see that too. Cool. But yeah, guys, thank you for